What is going on, everybody? Welcome into TTP Sports and Saquon Barkley. Holy goddamn shit. This dude's the MVP. Am I right? Am I wrong? This dude has to be the MVP. He has to be. There should be no debate about it. There should be no questions about it. Saquon Barkley. This dude is on pace, I think, for over 2,000 yards at this point. I understand MVP is a quarterback award at this point. But what Saquon is doing on a weekly basis, he is the factor into this Eagles offense. He is the motor that makes this offense drive every single week. Did you see what he did tonight? Did you see what he did tonight? Are you serious? 255 yards rushing alone. 255 yards rushing alone. And I think he had 47 yards receiving as well, so he's doing it on both sides. How much does that equal? Let's get the calculator out here. 255 plus 47, 302 scrimmage yards. Saquon Barkley had 302 scrimmage yards. 2 long touchdown runs. Getting long runs, it feels like every time he's handed the ball. He saves drives. He does everything. This guy's the MVP. This guy is the MVP. There should be no debate about it. At this rate, it's fucking amazing. It is fucking amazing what Saquon Barkley is doing. And that factors in to a dominating, a fantastic Eagles win in LA against the Rams. And I don't want to hear for a second. This game was a blowout. This game was dominating. I don't care about the score because the score shouldn't have been even as close as it was throughout most of this game because the refereeing was just absolute dog shit. It was terrible. It was garbage. Any other word for bad that you think in your mind that you can say, that probably describes how putrid the refs were tonight. I can just give you 3 calls off the top of my head and 3 big calls that really, just make you go, what the hell? Like, what are we calling here? Both of the pass interference calls against Isaiah Rodgers in the end zone, completely phantom, completely non-existent. They weren't even there. There was minimal contact. There was just nothing to call there. You even get the broadcasters on NBC questioning those calls. Is there really anything there? Not really. There's not much to call there. They still call it. And then the joke, like the biggest joke I feel, even though there's so many other putrid calls in this game, that call against Landon Dickerson, you're calling that a late hit? What? You're calling that a late hit? When there was a pass interference on A.J. Brown, which you did call, by the way. You're going to offset it off that? Off that garbage? It was a shove. It wasn't even late. That was, Mommy, he pushed me. He pushed me on the ground. I had to beg the refs to get the call. They were just that bad. Garbage all day long. Referees deserve jail time. Every single one of them. Every single ref deserves 20, 30, 40. Do we go life sentence? Life sentence, possibly. Jail time. Jail time. Go life. Go life. No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200 if you're playing Monopoly. That just describes how bad they were. Oh my God. Because this game really wasn't that close. Besides those first couple of drives by LA, even the first drive, though, where the Eagles do force the fumble, Kobe Dean and Isaiah Rodgers forcing the ball out of Williams' hand. Fantastic stuff there. Even though you have a fantastic drive going down the field There were some issues offensively today, don't get me wrong, especially when you do get into the red zone. It's where you stall out a little too many times for my liking. But you have a great drive going the other way. It turns into 3 points. Would have liked a touchdown there, but, it is what it is. But then the Rams, they go back down the field. They score. Really having trouble getting stops there. But that was really it for LA. The defense really adjusted after those first 2 drives. Whether it was BG. At 36 years old, this was supposed to be his last. This was supposed to be his last season. This dude feels like he's having one of the best seasons of his goddamn career. Dude's being a beast out there every single week. He feels like he's the guy on that defensive front. Even though the defensive front has been absolutely fantastic for a while now, but it feels like Brandon Graham of all people, and that's not a knock to Brandon Graham because he is electric, but Brandon Graham at 36 years old in his swan song is the guy that is doing the most electric stuff on the defensive front, getting to the quarterback nonstop and stuffing the run nonstop. He had some amazing stops today, and in classic Brandon Graham fashion. My God, that was amazing, but I really hope it's nothing serious. With Brandon Graham, he did leave the game in the fourth quarter. They are saying it is an elbow injury, and they were saying that Jalen Hurts, and a lot of people went over, talked to him, gave him handshakes and all that stuff. I really hope it's nothing serious because that would be a huge loss for this defensive front because BG has just been that much of a bad man this year. Oh my God, he has been awesome, and that would be a huge loss. A huge loss for this defense. There were quite a few guys that were banged up throughout this game. Darius Slay leaves the game with a concussion. Helmet-to-helmet contact. That sucks to see. Hopefully everything works out with him, but it feels like Darius Slay at this point, every single week, has been getting banged up to a certain extent. Maybe it's the best thing to, I'm not saying the best thing in the world is to get a concussion, by the way. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But maybe the best thing is for him just to just sit down for a couple of weeks, sit down for maybe a month. And, with concussion protocol, you do have to sit out a few weeks here. So maybe that'll be the best possible thing for Darius Slay, just to sit down, relax, chill out, and heal his body up because there is a lot of mileage on that body of Darius Slay, a lot of mileage on a lot of people in the veterans on this team on the defensive side, like, even with Brandon Graham. So just hopefully there's nothing really serious there. Even Josh Sweat, who had a really great game today, he went down for a little bit, but he did come back into the game. CJ Gardner-Johnson was limping for a little bit, but stayed in the game throughout the entire thing. So there definitely were some scares throughout, the course of this game. But defensively, just absolutely insane. Like I said, this game really was not a contest. Puka Nacua, he had his moments. Cooper Kupp, they had their moments. But overall, there were some great stops by Quinyon Mitchell, great stops by Cooper DeJean. Just overall, a fantastic defensive effort. Linebackers getting involved. Vaughn, Nakobe Dean. Literally just great, fantastic work from every single guy on that defensive front. Like I said, after those first 2 drives by LA, Vic Fangio, whatever he did, whatever he schemed up, they adjusted perfectly. They just completely and utterly took down the Rams' offensive attack. And that has been an offense that has been very hot the past few weeks, especially when they got Puka Nacua back. So that is really something special out of your defense. And they've been like this basically since the bye week at this point. You really can't even go back to, what type of teams have they been playing? What type of offense has they been playing? They've been doing this for weeks now. It really doesn't matter at this point. It does not matter at this point. This defense is elite. This defense wins you games. This defense is a championship caliber defense. It's bottom line. That's how amazing they are on that side of the ball. Offensively, there's still kinks to work out in certain situations, like I said, with drives stalling in the red zone. But at this rate, A.J. Brown had a couple of fantastic catches, some, really good passes from Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown got a touchdown in this game as well. But your offense, it's so amazingly driven by Saquon Barkley. You just can't get enough of it, man. You can't get enough of it. This dude literally just does everything. He is a workhorse, and it's so fun to watch. He was eating the Rams alive tonight. That run to start the second half, man. Oh my God. That basically just, okay, that's game. That is game right there, basically. This man was great. And just put the icing on the cake, he had another long touchdown right at the end of the game. Just to put the game even further out of reach. I can't get enough of it, man. I can't get enough of it. And that's why I'm going to keep striving that Saquon Barkley deserves the MVP, because this man is just going on an absolute tear. And I did actually see a tweet from someone. I believe it. Yeah, this was from Shane Haff. This was from Shane Haff, of producer and host for Eagles Pin Pull. He also, I think, does some work for Bleeding Green Nation, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but he was also on the Painted Lines and everything else. But he put a great stat out there. In 2012, Adrian Peterson won the MVP with 2,097 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns, 217 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Saquon Barkley is on pace for 2,157 rushing yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, 397 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Saquon is on pace to eclipse the last non-QB to win the MVP by 240 total yards and 4 total touchdowns. That's saying something. That is saying something. If Saquon keeps doing this and he reaches to those numbers that Shane Haff pointed out, he deserves the MVP. I know at this point, I think it's really Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens that is the favorite for the MVP at this rate, because, he's just doing Lamar Jackson things. But, hey, Eagles play the Ravens next week. Maybe that could be a showcasing of the 2 MVP candidates. Maybe that could really sway some votes there. Possibly. Who knows? Maybe. That could be the case. That could possibly be the case. And even just going back to the offensive perspective, Jalen Hurts did what he had to do. Yeah, there were some sequences where he held the ball on for too long. He took a sack. I mean, it was only 1 sack tonight. But Jalen Hurts made the plays that he needed to. Really, the only thing I didn't like from the offensive perspective, besides the stalling out with the red zone, the design quarterback runs up the middle, I was like, ugh. And some of those calls were in the red zone. I was like, ugh. Please stop doing that. I don't want Jalen Hurts to get injured. He was taking some pretty hard hits there. So, no. Stop doing that, please. Please stop doing that, because it wasn't pretty from that perspective. But overall, like I said, Jalen Hurts had some really good throws today. Like I said, made some dots to A.J. Brown. There was one iffy pass to Jahan Dotson, which was, recovered by Jahan Dotson, but that was basically it. A good pass to Saquon Barkley, which helped you move the sticks and everything there. Jalen Hurts basically just did what he had to do, not forcing much, just making the right plays at the right time. He had some good runs on his own as well. So Jalen Hurts just did what he needed to do and what was asked of him, not having to do too much. But still, I would like to see more just from a team perspective in the red zone. Really, the only successful red zone drive I think they had was when Kenny Gainwell scored his touchdown. That was really basically it. And also the A.J. Brown touchdown as well. But there was just too many times where they did stall out for my liking. And I would just like to see it, especially early in the game. I would like to really hammer the needle down when you get those chances early in the game and not settle for field goals. But that's, I guess comes with the territory of this Eagles team this season. They're a second-half team. And that is the bottom line. They struggle in the first half offensively. They make you want to rip your hair out with certain play calls. But once it gets to that second half, it's all she wrote. All she wrote from there. Saquon takes over the game. You get some good passes by Jalen to AJ, maybe a couple of dimes there. And the defense just continues to be the defense. This is a second-half football team. They close out games. And it's completely different from the mold and the philosophy of last year's team. It's just something completely different. And this feels more sustainable. This feels more of a championship caliber style of winning. And with the way this offense runs through Saquon and this offensive front, because there were some fantastic blocking by the offensive line, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, just to name a few. They were, helping Saquon out there. Like, those guys deserve just as much credit as Saquon does. Saquon probably wouldn't be, even though Saquon's amazing, he wouldn't be having some of the numbers that he has without this offensive front because, they just work with each other hand in hand. It is that amazing. But it's fantastic stuff. That's basically all we need to know here. Fantastic stuff. And let's just look at some more stats. This is from Josh Reynolds on Twitter. Saquon Barkley tonight, 255 rushing yards, 47 reception yards, 302 total yards, 2 touchdowns, most rushing yards in a game in Eagles history. So there's a record right there. And most rushing yards in an NFL game since 2009, and he is on pace for the most rushing yards in NFL history. He's the MVP. He is the MVP. He's going to be the MVP. He has to be. He has to be if he continues to play at this rate. It's just that simple. My God. It's ridiculous at this point. What he's doing on a night-to-night basis. You also get the smile from Jalen after Saquon, gets that long touchdown, 70-yarder run at the start of the second half. That was, Jalen's showing up some emotion there. I think Jalen's loving this as well. Oh man, what other stats that pop out from tonight? Because definitely could be quite a few there. Jalen Hurts overall 15 of 22 on his passing attempts, 179 yards. Like I said, he did what he needed to do. He made the plays that he needed to make. Nothing forced, nothing too drastic. Like I said, just did what he had to do and had some good runs as well. Saquon Barkley, like I said, 255 yards on 26 carries. Absolutely ridiculous. 2 touchdowns there. Jalen Hurts had 39 yards on 12 carries. Kenny Gainwell had a touchdown in there. A.J. Brown, he only had 7 targets in this game, 6 catches, but he still managed to get over 109 yards. I feel like what A.J. Brown does just gets diminished because of how great Saquon is. That is just insane, isn't it? That is just insane. A.J. Brown has a fantastic day at the office, but nope, Saquon doubles that. Saquon doubles that in the yardages. It is ridiculous. Saquon had what? A.J. Brown had 109, and Saquon had over 302 yards total in this game. He had almost 200 more yards in this game than AJ. That is crazy. That is crazy when you just think about it. That is unheard of. And AJ had a fantastic game, but the next guy had 200 more yards close to that, even more than him. Unreal. Unreal. That's just hilarious. That's just hilarious. Saquon, he had 4 catches for 47 yards. Dallas Goedert, he had 4 catches for 19. What else? You get the fumble recovery on the first drive for the LA Rams there. The Eagles taking it back the other way. Defense just absolutely amazing. Nakobe Dean had some good hits. Cooper DeJean in coverage. Same thing with Quinyon Mitchell. Isaiah Rodgers, there were sequences when Darius Slay left the game, and that's when LA was really trying to target Puka Nacua and, trying to get on the coverage in Isaiah Rodgers, but eventually, that turned into nothing really. That's really where the phantom penalties come from the refereeing perspective. So that's basically it there. Brandon Graham, absolutely fantastic. He had a sack in this game. Milton Williams had a lot of pressure in this game as well. He recorded 2 sacks. Josh Sweat had a sack in there as well. Same thing with Nakobe Dean. Just overall, man, this defensive front, this defense has just been playing absolutely insane. It's funny, too, because I think on the second pass interference call on Isaiah Rodgers, I think the NBC broadcast mistakenly, I guess put a graphic on there on who was on the field and who the penalty was on. It said Bradbury. It was like number 24, Bradbury the 4th. I was like, why the fuck is Bradbury on the field? I didn't even think he would be touching the field. No, it was Rodgers. They got it wrong. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Don't give me a heart attack right there. My God. I didn't even want to think about that. Freaking James Bradbury on the field. And we're like, no wonder why there's a goddamn pass interference. But no, they were wrong. It was freaking NBC messing up. Not me. My eyes don't lie. They don't. They don't. Just a fantastic game, man. Hey, when Jake Elliott had to kick some field goals, he did. So Jake Elliott fixed some stuff this week, at least. That's the case, at least, hopefully. Hopefully, because for some reason kickers this year are cursed. Even on that one drive where, in the third quarter, I believe, where LA was forced to kick the field goal because, they took some penalties. Eagles defense did their job, got some sacks in there, missed it wide right. So there is something weird going on with kickers this year. I have no idea why. That even reminds me of earlier today, because even what makes this win more huge is that Washington lost earlier this afternoon against the Dallas Cowboys, and that was just a snooze fest for, I would say, 75% of the game. And then the fourth quarter, for some reason, what the fuck even happened during that game? It was like offense galore. I was like, what the hell is going on? Where did all this offense come from? And then, Dallas takes the lead. You think they're going to close it out and everything like that. So I decide to leave the room for a little bit. I leave for 5 minutes, and Washington is down one score. They're a point away. They made it a 1-point game. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Apparently got the big play by Terry McLaurin to make it. Then the fucking kicker missed the field goal, missed the extra point. Like, how do you even script that? That's just funny. What are the NFL script writers even doing? Ridiculous. But like I said, let's make this win even more larger. I can't talk English right now. But basically, like I keep saying, Washington losing makes this win even better just because it improves your record only, but, makes your chances of winning the NFC East even better because Washington, now it looks like they're struggling on offense because, Jaden Daniels obviously is playing injured. It looks like the rib injury is still affecting him to a certain extent. So there is a factor in there, and I don't know when Washington is playing their bye week. So I'm not sure if it's next week. I'm not sure if it's in a few weeks. But it definitely looks like Jaden Daniels is playing with some type of ailment. So we'll see where that takes them. But the Eagles took advantage, and that is very huge at the end of the day there. So huge. So huge there. Man, what a win for the boys. What a win for the boys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on Twitter that really stands. Alshon Jeffrey was at the game in a 2017 Eagles jacket. My God, that's actually funny. What other stats on there? Yeah, Jalen Hurts signed cleats and gave him to Alshon Jeffrey. That's hilarious. Oh no. Oh no. No. God, why? Why? Man, why did I refresh Twitter? Brandon Graham's out for the year. He tore his triceps. That sucks. That's terrible. This dude is playing on fire. Now he's out for the year. God damn, that's unfortunate. I feel bad for him, man. This was supposed to be his last season and everything, and he's playing like he should be playing even more seasons after this. Dude was on an absolute tear, and now his season's just fucking over. That's heartbreaking, man. That's heartbreaking. He doesn't deserve that. Doesn't fucking deserve that. God damn it, man. God damn it. That is horrible. Yeah, if Brandon Graham even said there's a video right here from On Pattison saying that he's done for the year. I want to hear this. I want to hear this from Brandon Graham.
Nah, for real. What do you mean? I'm out for the rest of the year. For real.
No, you're not.
Yeah. What happened? Tore my tricep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got chipped. Got hit in my elbow. Tore my tricep. But man, hey.
That really sours everything. That sours everything, man. I don't even know how to think now. That puts such a dampener on everything. It doesn't take away from the win. No way in hell. This defense is still fucking fantastic. But that's such a huge loss for the defense. BG it's just a whole different presence. That just sours everything, man. That sucks. That is awful. That is awful. That stings. That stings. Stings so badly. Darius Slay says he's good. That's from John Clark of NBC Sports Philly. Damn. 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 I guess if you're going to go out, you're going to go out being a monster. And that's exactly what Brandon Graham was. An absolute monster. Had such an impact on this game. Damn. That really soured everything. That sucks, man. That sucks. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. It soured everything there, man. It just dampened the mood. I don't even know what else to think. It's such a gut punch. Like, man, this was supposed to be his last year. Let him go out on his own terms. Not being forced out. Fucking football gods. What did you do to deserve this? Didn't he tear his ACL a couple of years ago, too? And then he came back for the Super Bowl run, a couple of years ago and had, one of his best seasons sack-wise. Man, he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't. BG don't deserve this. That's just heartbreaking. Yep, that's basically everything right now. Everything's on BG. As it should be. As it should be. But, we do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. Try to get away from the sour mood and the sad mood there from the BG News. We'll get to the Anytime Hotline right here. Get to Sean. And let's see what he has to say.
Saquon effing Barkley. He may not be the MVP of the league, but I don't know of any player that's more valuable to their team than Saquon Barkley, whether he gets the award or not.
He should. He 100% should. Continue.
What a performance for all the nation to say. Unbelievable. I didn't even realize he had that many yards. 255? Holy shit. But, he wasn't alone. Brandon Graham turned back the clock. He was everywhere tonight in this game, wreaking havoc in the backfield. And Milton Williams, Jalen Carter was getting double teamed, so Milton Williams was the cleanup crew getting in the backfield. That's a big win. Another tough game ahead of them against Baltimore. But the Eagles are pretty simple. If A.J. Brown plays, they win. If Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the football over, they win. And, usually Saquon Barkley, as good as he is in the first half of games, he's even better in the second half of games. He's like a boxer. They hit you with body blows early. They don't take a lot of effect early, but by the end of the game, it sure becomes apparent. This guy is just unbelievable right now. This team is playing pretty well. I saw Detroit earlier today. They're for real. You would like to somehow finagle home field advantage away from them. But the Eagles, if they're healthy, can play with anybody. No question about it.
Oh, yeah, I 100% believe that. The Lions are the real deal. But I think the Eagles can find a way to play to this Lions team 100%. And, yeah, it definitely... like you said, Sean, A.J. Brown plays, they win. Saquon goes off, they win. Jalen Hurts, does the simple things, doesn't turn the ball over, protects the ball and everything like that. They win. And this defense feasts. They got a recipe, and that recipe is working for them right now. And it's been working for them for pretty much a while now at this point. What is it? An 8-game win streak, a 7-game win streak or something like that. So it's working. It's working. It really does sting with the Brandon Graham news, though. It really does sting to that level. He just doesn't deserve it. He just does not deserve it. It soured everything, man. It soured everything. My God. My God, it really soured everything. Hey, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, Jason Peters was out for the year. They ran onto the field in Minnesota for the Super Bowl, taking the field. I forget who specifically was carrying out the jersey, but they were carrying out a Jason Peters jersey. Why not repeat that this year with Brandon Graham? Why not? Why not? Maybe that could be the fact. Maybe that could help. Play for BG. Play for BG. Do it for him, man. He helped you get that Super Bowl with the strip sack. Time to reward him. Time to reward him. Pay him back. And then some. Oh, man. It stings. It stings seeing that. It really does. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. That is definitely going to be the shutdown moment because it is past midnight. I do have to do some editing on the side here. But I see some of you guys here in the comment section. Michael and Turd, how you doing? Yeah, refs are 100% soft. Going to be thankful to the Giants organization for Saquon every Thanksgiving for the rest of my life. Yeah, Thanksgiving week, everybody. Be thankful. Be thankful. Be thankful that the Giants allowed Saquon to sign here. Sign on the dotted lines with Howie Roseman right here in South Philly. Be thankful. But before I end it off, I do want to thank each and every one of you because earlier this afternoon, where let me just even refresh it just to make sure that I'm even stating facts here. But yeah, earlier this afternoon, we did surpass 1,000 subs. Big thing. Having this channel here for a couple of years here. Early stages definitely struggling with the viewer count and everything, but it's been steadily going up ever since. And now we have reached the summit of getting over that 1,000 sub hurdle. And you guys are the reason for that. You guys help me keep going every day here with this channel. You are one of the main reasons why I keep going because I love every single one of you. And just appreciate it every single day here. Appreciate every single one of you. And I'm going to keep, working harder here. I'm bringing back the shorts on the YouTube feed. I brought back the TikTok and I'm bringing back, the reels on Instagram. So we're definitely going to do that. You could definitely follow over on TikTok and Instagram right here. It's down here or below on your screen at TTPSPORTS. And just continue the grind, continue the growth. Everything there. Got some things changed with the branding of the channel. Got a new header, logo, whatever you want to call it, new banner and everything there too. So I definitely want to, keep moving forward and building and grinding here. And you guys are the main reason why I keep doing that because I just enjoy talking to you guys every single time. So appreciate you all. It's a huge accomplishment here. But now the goal is set even further. Set even further. Everyone always says on YouTube the first 1,000 subs are the toughest ones to get. Now starts the real grind of everything else. So you guys, love every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you. And thank you so much for 1,000 subs. Now it's my duty to continue on that and bring in new people to this family. So just wanted to state that out there at the end for you guys because that's how much I appreciate you there. So that'll do it for tonight, everybody. Appreciate you one and always. I will always say that after every video because I do. Just want to show how much appreciation I have. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. And also, don't forget to use the code TTPSports. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. As always,